Hello and welcome to Mangatory96, and today we're going to talk about that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Today's topic will be the two rivals and best friends who are the polar opposite of each other. With one being the commander-in-chief of the Tempest forces, he is one of the most well-known members of Rimoro's inner circle, while on the other hand we have the leader of the Shadow Squad. He likes to remain in the shadows like a real ninja should do. I'm of course talking about Benimaru and Souei. But before we start, here's the spoiler warning, as I'll be spoiling a lot of things in this video, so if you don't want to be spoiled, I would highly recommend that you go and read the light novel, as it is an enjoyable read. For everyone else, let's start with who Benimaru is. Benimaru is one of the first group of subordinate monsters to be named by Rimuru. Originally an ogre, he was uncertain of his servitude and asked for it to be temporary, but after being named he evolved into a Kijin, immediately becoming Rimuru's most powerful subordinate for the time, and decided to serve him permanently. He as well lives in the capital city of Jura Tempest Federation, Rimuru City. Soon after Benimaru was given the position of Commander-in-Chief, giving him direct command over the Tempest military forces, Rimuru's accession to the true Demon Lord, Benimaru evolved into a fair Oni and reached the strength of a disaster-class monster. He has a carefree personality, that of an excited and confident man. Even so, he is actually really cautious and cunning as well. He has no interest in serving anyone who he doesn't deem worthy, where he doesn't belittle those weaker than him either. Benimaru felt hesitant when faced with the responsibility to take over the position of the Ogre tribe village chief. Thus, he is content with the current position with Rimuru as the lord he serves. As the military commander, he merely wishes to rampage to his heart's content. Had he become chief, he could not ride off to battle, but now it was different. He can participate without any concerns. He was originally a very hot-headed person, but after taking the role of the general of the army under Rimuru, he became more rational and calm in decision-making. As for his past, Benimaru was introduced in the Force Disturbance arc as the young master of the Ogre tribe. The village was attacked by 10,000 orcs led by the Orc Lord Geld and Majin Footman. Having his entire tribe eradicated, Benimaru and his 5 remaining tribe members ran away with great regret, only to encounter a Goblin Rider patrol and later Rimuru. They fought due to the Ogre group's frustration and a misunderstanding caused by Rimuru wearing an anti-magic mask, but it got resolved thanks to Benimaru's little sister's effort, and since no one died, Rimuru healed everyone with his potion and they all went into Rimuru's goblin village, where a feast was about to be held. After some rest, Rimuru learned about Benimaru and his companion's circumstances and asked him if they were willing to become his subordinates, even if it was temporarily, since the two would need to fight those orcs, it would be better to join forces. Benimaru asked for some time to think about it and walked away, only to meet his childhood friend and a rival, saying that it wasn't a bad idea after looking at the state of the goblin village Rimuru ruled over. After some frustrating reminiscence, Benimaru finally decided to accept and finally, as a symbol of Rimuru's rulership, granted the 6 of the names Benimaru, Shuna, Souei, Shion, Hakuro and Kurobe, and thus they all evolved from ogres into Kijin. Some days passed and Benimaru, Hakuro and Souei trained together to get used to their newfound powers. Speaking of powers, as for his strength, among the survivors of the Ogre village, Benimaru possesses strength at disaster class, with a magical amount second only to Shion, and while he might have some weaker points compared to her in terms of individual battle, his true power manifests when he leads an army. He is a highly skilled swordsman who could hold his own in a duel or a group battle. Being named by Rimuru and his having constant training with Hakuro to improve his blade skills has caused him to grow exponentially. He is also capable of using his Black Flame ability with his sword, giving his blade a massive power up. As for his relationship with Rimuru, Benimaru was very wary and suspicious towards Rimuru when they first met, going as far as attacking him and his party together with the other ogres, but was later convinced by and entered a treaty with him, allowing Rimuru to name him. After the defeat of the Orc Lord, Benimaru and the others asked to extend their allegiance with Rimuru. From that moment on, he became extremely loyal to Rimuru, going as far as to completely forgive Geld and the rest of the orcs for the Orc Lord's misdoings, if they served Rimuru with utmost sincerity and is the commander-in-chief of Rimuru's military forces. As for his relationship with Shuna, As siblings, Benimaru cares deeply for Shuna and will do anything to protect her, and he values and respects her words and actions. However, he is always rooting for her love and sincerity towards Rimuru, saying as far as he defeats all the other competitors in the sumo wrestling competition, thinking Rimuru is the only one worthy of his sister's lap as a pillow. As for his relationship with Geld, before he and his people joined the Tempest Federation, Benimaru viewed Geld as an enemy during the Orc Lord incident. After the Orc Lord was defeated, Benimaru saw Geld ask for forgiveness for what both the Orc Lord and his people did. Benimaru then told him that as in charge of Tempest forces, he could not allow himself to deprive of an excellent fighter, and they both are on friendly terms with each other ever since. As for his relationship with Kurenai, Kurenai, or the Crimson, are the elite troops under Benimaru. They are Benimaru's elite guards, having a total of 100 ogres who have endured Hakuru's hellish training, and all of them are surpassing A rank. The captain of the Kurenai is known as Goboa. A criteria for Kurenai is that every one of them can be a commander during army operation, and Goboa, being the captain, usually commands the army in Benimaru's absence. Moving on to Souei. Souei is an ogre that was among the third group of subordinates to be named by Rimuru. He is Rimuru's faithful shadow and the leader of the Shadow Squad of the Jura Tempest Federation. He as well lives in the capital city of the Jura Tempest Federation, Rimuru City. Souei seems to be afflicted with Chunchumbyo. After being appointed as a ninja, he took the position very seriously, too seriously for some of his companions and co-workers. Regardlessly, his presence radiates composure and unblemished strength, though whenever he thinks anyone is insulting Rimuru, he gets a creepy smile on his face. He operates ruthlessly and doesn't impose personal feelings. He keeps his delusion only to times of peace and properly makes sure that it doesn't interfere with his work. Despite some concerns about his personality, he does his job properly and is very competent, able to create a counter-espionage force within a few months that's able to fend off spies from the armed nation of Dwargo, though it doesn't seem like he was able to notice the magical observation done by the sorcerer dynasty Sarion. So against purely magical espionage methods, he might still require the help of an expert on magical matters like Shuna, Diablo, or Rimuru himself. Souei has an eloquent tongue to match his good looks and always expresses himself very stoically and confident. Like all the other survivors of the Ogre tribe, Souei is also very loyal to Rimuru, and he also keeps up his long-lasting childhood friendship with Benimaru, especially now that Benimaru and Souei are no longer master or retainer, hence they can treat each other more equally in public. As for his past, Souei was one of the 6 survivors of the Ogre tribe. After escaping from the Orc horde, his group joined Rimuru's Hobgoblin village after an initial misunderstanding. He followed along until the village became the Jura Forest Alliance and later the Jura Tempest Federation, where he settled in as the leader of the Shadow Squad that handles the espionage of Rimuru City. As for his strength, Souei excels in spying and information gathering. By creating clones, he can get some sleep in shifts. He is also a skilled swordsman and can hold his own in a sword duel or a massive battle. After being named by Rimuru, and constant training with his master to maintain or improve his skills has further increased in skill with a blade. As for his relationship with Rimuru, he is his lord and master. Souei believes that Rimuru instilling him as a ninja has unlocked his full potential, and he is forever grateful for that. He once nearly killed a lizard man for insulting Rimuru. As for his relationship with Benimaru, Benimaru and Souei are rivals and best friends. For him, Benimaru, who is the son of the lord, was not his lord. Instead, they both ended up serving Rimuru as his executives. As for his relationship with Shion, Souei and Shion seem to get along and are friends, though he does tend to run away from her cooking. He thinks of her as a brutish and incompetent, even mimicking Rimuru's voice to call her half-wit secretary, to which she seems flattered. When Millen thought they were siblings because of their horn curriculum having only one where Benimaru and Shuna have 2, he is said to have made a fearsome face. As for his relationship with Sokka, Sokka has the utmost respect for him. She is very attentive to his instruction and looks for any opportunity to impress him and maybe try to win his favor. He is aware of this, of course, feigning ignorance to poke fun at her at every opportunity. As for his relationship with Ranga, they began to show more interaction when Rimuru went in his journey to Ingracia. both Ranga and the Souei clone hiding in his shadow. While the wolf tried to get to know the other better, Souei would make teasing comments like him liking cats better than dogs, or saying how it must be good to be so popular and he was forced to take a bath by the kids. The clone is always shown smiling when Ranga whines at his words, showing how much he likes to poke fun at others and how the simple-minded wolf makes it so easy. With this, I covered everything that I wanted to cover on Benimaru and Souei. And that'll be all for this video. If you like this video, leave a like, leave your thoughts in the comments below, or subscribe to the channel for more manga reviews and One Piece content. And until next time, take care.